Hello everybody and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video we will be talking about the 2024 presidential debates and how President Joe Biden is saying now for the first time that he will be debating Donald Trump and whoever else may qualify by the time of the debate ahead of the general election. They are the party's nominees, and it was looking like for quite a while that Joe Biden would back off from debating, that he thought that it would be too risky, that it would overall weaken his reelection chances. And we have seen similar situations for quite a while now where Joe Biden kind of shies away from public events, from events with high viewership that could actually gain him a lot of votes. For example, it is a tradition for the president to give an interview during the Super Bowl, right? I think it's right before the Super Bowl, where millions of people are watching nationwide on TV. But Joe Biden did not want to do that. He opted out of carrying on with that tradition, and he did not go through with that because he knows that, given all of his gaffes, given his lack of passion, how he speaks, just really all of the weaknesses that he has in his speech. That is the weakest part about his candidacy and about him as a candidate. He knows that he has a lot to lose and a lot more to lose than he does to gain if he is doing, a interview or a public event with millions of viewers. So this question has come up where reporters ask him, where or will you debate Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump is all for these debates. He wants to debate anytime and anywhere, he says. And Biden, just like with all of these other interviews and such, he opted out of it. He said that he didn't, completely say that he was certain that he was not going to. It's not like he declined to debate, but he did not say that he would debate, right? And usually when you do something like that, when you don't give a clear answer, he was giving like joking answers and stuff, it means that he's probably not going to debate. But today, he went on the Howard Stern radio show, yes, radio show with Howard Stern, and that is where he announced that he would be, quote, happy to debate Donald Trump in the October ahead of and August, I believe, September, ahead of the election. So we've got these two candidates. Now, if Biden follows through with this, which I assume he will, we will have presidential debates. It was looking like presidential debates would not happen this year. That would be really historic. That would be the first time since the debates, before the presidential debates even began. That would be the first time. That'd be the first time since 1972. That was the last time that they did not happen. Was 1972. Nixon versus McGovern. Nixon did not want to do them because he knew that he had the election in the bag. But so obviously, Biden not debating Trump and there not being any presidential debates at all would be truly historic for the country. And it would just go to show how unpopular these figures are, that they feel that they can't even go on national television because, whatever, they think that it will hurt their reelection chances. But this is a major change because Biden now says that he is all in and that it looks like presidential debates will happen. So that's one thing, the Biden versus Trump matchup. But what could be a real wild card in these debates, and I am not very confident that he will make them, but is the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. factor, because Kennedy was at 15% for quite a while earlier this year. He was at 15% or above. He was actually at 15.0% for quite a while. And that is what you need to qualify for the presidential debates. You need to qualify, or you need to get 15% in a mashup of polls, and that's decided by the Commission for Presidential Debates. And then you need some other things which Kennedy qualified for, but or I think you need like a path to 270 electoral votes. You need to be on enough ballots to be able to get to 270 electoral votes. Kennedy will have really no problem with that. But the tough part would be getting that 15%. But according to Real Clear Politics, he is at 9.5% right now. That is below 10, certainly below 15. But that does include that does include Cornel West and Jill Stein, which obviously does pull support from Kennedy. So I don't know how, I don't know, which polls the Commission for Presidential Debates will use, whether that be Kennedy versus Biden versus Trump, or if they include all five plus the Libertarian, who knows. But I would argue that this number is low and that it is technically higher, and that's because of these two major outliers of polls. That being the Economist and the YouGov commissioned poll, which has Kennedy at 3%, and the New York Times, in partnership with Siena College poll, which had Kennedy at only 2%. Now, this is much lower than any other polls, and he was not included in these polls. I mean, it is a shame. It is. I don't know what Real Clear Politics is thinking, because Kennedy, this is not a five-way matchup. It's not. In these two polls, in the 3% poll and the 2% poll, Kennedy, West, and Stein were not included. And these numbers are actually respondents, repeating back Kennedy's name on their own, despite that not being an option, basically a write-in. They are basically writing in Kennedy's name. Now, I mean, 3% and 2%, getting that as a write-in candidate when you're not even on the ballot, that's historic and stunning in itself. But when he's actually on the ballot, you can see Quinnipiac has him at 16%, Marist College has him at 14%, NBC has him at 13%. He is doing much, much, much better when he is actually included on the ballot, and this number will increase because pollsters will have to start putting him in every poll, because state by state, he is getting on a lot of ballots. He's now in Michigan. He has enough signatures to appear on the Texas ballot. Texas, the second largest state in the nation in terms of population. The campaign says that they have enough signatures to appear on the Texas ballot. So he is getting on many, many ballots, and that will only continue to grow. And this number is heavily, heavily downgraded because of these two polls, which has him at 3% and 2% as a write-in candidate when he is not put on the ballot. So that should be much higher. Still below 15 because only one poll has him above 15, but awfully close. And just imagine that. I just want you guys to imagine, what if Robert F. Kennedy Jr., an independent, really out there candidate, talks about things that no other politician does. Imagine if he is on that stage in front of tens of millions of viewers watching, trying to decide who to cast their ballot for, or maybe they're already decided, or they think they're already decided, and then they hear this complete wild card of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. That would be very interesting to see how that debate would go between Trump, Biden, and Kennedy Jr. But now looking back at the 2020 debate, obviously that there were only two, and the first one and the second one, voters overwhelmingly said that Biden would win. They helped him. As you can see, good performance. Trump, 32.9%. Biden, 59.7%. Now remember, this was the debate where Trump went crazy, did not let Biden speak, did not let the moderator have any control of the debate, and it was complete chaos. Trump tried to come off as strong. It did not pay off as he had hoped. He just came off as a jerk, and it ultimately cost him big time, because you can see that respondents of this polling think that Biden did much better than Trump. And then you can see similar results, as well as policy as well. That's a bit closer, though. So, I can see why Biden thinks that this might not be such a bad idea. I mean, if he is on his game during the debates, I think that it could pay off because I could see someone like Trump making that same exact mistake again. So this is big for the 2024 election, a major development as the presidential debates do have so much influence on how millions of people vote. Tens of millions of people view into these debates. It is the most watched event of the 2024 election of presidential elections. And as I said, if Kennedy can get into the debates, if he can get his poll numbers up, that would be really something to watch. So thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to drop a comment down below, drop a like, give me a subscription. That would help out a lot. Again, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.